What's up, you guys? Welcome to a lazy introduction. We are doing an updated pet room tour. It's been a year, some things have changed, not a lot, but some. Also, I voice over this entire thing because the budgies flock called the entire time I filmed this and everything was useless as far as audio. So anyway, here we go in my hallway. I have this skateboard, this longboard, that is totally my aesthetic. I love it. I don't use it nearly as much as I used to, but I refuse to get rid of it because it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Great. I have this little light that actually came with our building, and Cusco loves to sit on it and poop right there. So that's nice. I'm perpetually scrubbing this area. I hate it. It's a huge pain in the butt, but it's also built into the apartment, so I can't get rid of it. Anyway, this is my bathroom. I'm not going to do a super in-depth bathroom tour because those are weird and gross. But this is my bathroom. This is me talking to myself. Wow. So there's my sink. There's my toilet. There's my shower. It's small, but it gets the job done, and the water pressure is amazing. So that's just where I keep my dry shampoo because I'm greasy. That's my hand towel. That is dry, fresh, and crinkly. Regular towel. Wow. This bath mat that I got from IKEA for $15, that totally changed my life. It's so soft, it feels like alpaca, even though it's not. And I actually want like 3 more of them for the rest of my house because they're just unbelievable. It's me, again. These are some hooks that I keep hats on because it's winter. That's my makeup brushes. I've got some oils and stuff in there, some bath bombs for a tub that I don't have. This is just moisturizer. And then up top here, I have this beautiful painting that was made for me by a friend of my dad's. All right, no more bathroom. Let's get on to the good stuff. All right, so this bookshelf I've had my entire life, and it just has some sentimental knickknacks. This cool whale whose name is Amy. That's how she came. Down on this bottom, I have some DS games, some books, this box that was given to me, made for me by my ex-best friend, and we don't talk anymore, but I do keep all the stuff she gave me because I'm petty. Anyway, log that away deep in the recesses of my brain along with the rest of all of our childhood memories. I'm not bitter. Anyway, here's some Christmas wrapping that I forgot to put away that I just noticed. And here's where the animals start 2 minutes in. This is my fish tank. Wow. So I am planning an updated tank tour because tons of things have changed, but this will just be an overview. So new in this tank are both of my clownfish. My first clownfish, Isma and Kronk, did pass away last August. So this is Tulio and Miguel. Miguel is the female, she's on the left. Tulio is the little guy in the back. And my firefish, Milo Thatch, he was in the back of the tank. He is the only original resident of this tank. So my tank crashed in August, he was in another tank, so he lived. And my corals lived. But when I filmed this original tour this time last year, I didn't actually have any coral. I just had my anemone. He also has since passed away, which is unfortunate to say the least. But all of these coral are brand new, and I do have an in-depth tank tour with Isma and Kronk that features all these coral, what they're called, and how to look after them. But I am planning a more updated one because I did change the setup around after the hurricane. And I kind of want to talk about why, because a lot of it had to do with flow and growth and a couple other reasons. This little guy here is our newest resident. This is Dennis Quaid, the orange spotted sleeper goby. He is also paired up with a pistol shrimp, who you never see, but between the two of them, they do a really good job of rotating my sand bed and knocking over all my rock work in the process. But they're super cute. I love them. They're a really great pair, and I will do a whole video on symbiotic relationships between gobies and shrimp. Speaking of shrimp, this is the peppermint shrimp I recently added, who ate all of my Aptasia like a very, very good boy. I just love him. He killed all the Aptasia guys, every single one. That is an accomplishment. This is the shelf that I keep my fish tank on. I have my no pox, my no phosphate, my Artesia X, some dosing things for my corals, some fish food, some coral food, algae scraper, all that good stuff. Alright, so right on the other side across from my fish tank is my crested gecko enclosure. So I am actually looking for inspiration. I want to redo this entire enclosure. It has not changed in the last year. I think it's a little bit bare. He always knocks this plant down. Oh my god. Anyway, I think it's a little bit bare for a cresty. I do have 2 fake plants, the 2 hanging plastic vines. Everything else in here is live. And I'm just kind of looking for ways to make this a little bit more fun for him. I would really like to do something with the background, give him some more depth to play with. I don't know. It's kind of lacking. And I've been saying that I want to make more of this enclosure for a really long time, and I just haven't done it. But I swear this year is the year. Down on the bottom here, I do normally keep his food and water dish. He will not take food or water off a ledge. He's a freak. But they're normally right here. They were just in the dishwasher at the time I filmed this, and I didn't want people to think that I was intentionally neglecting him. He's fine. He's asleep. He will have dishes for the night. I'm gonna see if I can dig him out here, actually. Yeah, so he's just back in there. He's pretty fired down right now. He's also getting ready to shed, so I am gonna leave him alone. But this is his usual little sleeping spot. There's a bit better of a view for everybody. Next to his cage, I have this 8-foot tall Dracaena that I got when I was in university and still have. I have one of its little babies is actually in Sushi's enclosure, but it's huge and it stays in here because otherwise my cat will eat it and die. This is actually part of my closet that I turned into a little animal prep station. I needed the space, but I didn't want to use my room, so it's in here. This is also where my dresser is, so all my clothes are in there, and then right around the corner on the other side where the door is where I hang my work clothes. This is my weekly planner for my animals. Today is the 14th, so you can see that I put all of these tasks down here for today just because they didn't need to get done yesterday. That's normally when I do them, but everyone was good. This is a scale that I have for weighing everyone, mostly for weighing Chip. And then these are just some assorted little dishes. So in here I have millet and actually one of Nala's feathers. This syringe is for dosing Aptasia. This is for when I feed my tank. And this one is for Chip. He is still on antibiotics for his sinus infection. And this is just some Nutriberries in a jar that I mix in with their food every day. Right here is one of the sweetest gifts I've ever been given. So this is a portrait of Nala that was painted for me by a client at the barn, and she brought it into my other work to give it to me in person, and I had to work so hard to just not blubber everywhere. It's so sweet. Up top, I have an extra cage. I have so many extra cages, guys. It is unreal. This is their primary diet for their pellets, and then this is the diatomaceous earth I use to keep the moths away. That's some Tropomix that I give them periodically for enrichment. Then I have a heating pad, and then that's just the box for my protein skimmer for my Reef tank. Moving right along here, in this little corner is the aviary and a box full of really, really loud birds. I have this beautiful snowy view. I've got my little mirror here, which looks like a tree stump. Super cool. I love it. It's so pretty outside, guys. Oh my gosh. Anyway, moving on. So not a ton has changed in the aviary, except Cusco being needy. That's not a change. That's the same. There's Chip. Okay, bye. So looking in the aviary, I did add full spectrum lighting, and I also added extra food and water dishes. So I have one hanging here, and I just macrame'd them and made a little support for them so they swing. And I put different things in all of those dishes. There's Kita calling to Chip. There's Cusco being super needy and basic. He gets so mad when I lock him in there to film. Oh my god. There's their regular food dish. A couple new toys. Not a whole lot going on in here. There's another one of the macrame dishes that I made. There's their salad. And then I also added this water fountain on the bottom left right here, which they really love. You can see they actually stuffed some millet in there this morning, so that was rude. But they use it a lot to bath. Indy is in his little, this was his Christmas present. He really loves cotton swings like this, so I got him that, and that's pretty much where he stays all day. He sits right in there and watches the traffic. It's the sweetest thing I've ever seen. And there's Kita up the top, and she is new. She was not in the last tour. And yep, still have Cusco. They were being super, super loud when I filmed this, guys. So Indy is actually getting a lot more tame. You'll see he does let me open the door and talk to him now without immediately flying away. I mean, I'm sure he will, but he is taking millet from my hand now, and he doesn't immediately freak out when I come near him. So that's really good. That's huge progress for him, and that's definitely not something he was doing last tour. Inside here, it's still really awkward lighting. The full spectrum lights in the back are just really hard to deal with. There's Kita talking to Chip through the screen. She like keeps getting really angsty that they're not together, but then every time I try and integrate him back into the aviary, she beats the crap out of him. So it's been a challenge to say the least. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with their whole situation. Once Chip is off his antibiotics, he's had a recurring sinus infection on and off since June. So he's back on antibiotics, but once he's off, I do plan on trying to integrate them again. It's just, in the meantime, it's been a challenge. So this is Chip's current setup while he is quarantined. He mostly just sits out on this rope perch all day. He gets really antsy if I put him in any size cage. Indefinitely, he's been very comfortable in the aviary, and before that he was out most of the day while I was in university, so he does not do well being locked in a cage. So he mostly just sits here or up on my curtains, which is like really annoying because I'm just perpetually cleaning up more bird poop than I would really like to be. But, you know, you do what you gotta do. Speaking of bird poop, sorry that his cage is kind of a mess. This was cage cleaning day when I filmed this, but birds poop a lot, and like I do his every second day. And it's still pretty messy. He also threw all of his food out of his dish and onto the like grate of his cage today, so that was good. But he is doing well on this round of antibiotics. This is the 4th round total that he's been on, and I feel like we may have finally kicked it. He's still not 100%, like he's not where I'd like him to be, so I might call and have them put him on one more round, but he is doing a lot better. Right here, he's looking a little dramatic because while I was filming, he inhaled a piece of millet and it got a little bit stuck in his mouth. But I swear, he is feeling a lot better, and oh my god, Chip, he looks like he's dying. Anyway, he's good now. He's doing a lot better. He's a lot more social. I've seen a big change in him this time around, so I hope that means he's finally kicked this stupid infection. There's all the food that he threw on the floor, so that's nice. And down in here, he has a heated perch, so that's where he sleeps at night. Oh my god, Kita, do you love him or do you not love him? Decide. Like, I miss you, friend. Just kidding, want to rip your face off. And then also, I obviously still have Cusco, my main man, but in the 2 minutes it took me to film that little update on the birds, look what he did. Yep, just gonna regurgitate all down my back. So every time I talk to you guys about the importance of understanding bird hormones, this is exactly what I mean. And he's a little bit of an extreme case, to say the least, but this is the reality of bird ownership. Yeah, Cusco's a real treat sometimes. Anyway, moving on from the birds. This is just the other half of my room. So here's my bed. It's a bed. The headboard is a palette that I painted myself that I actually need to repaint because Cusco regurgitated all over it. The stitch pillow I got from Disney, and it's actually the perfect size to support my metal arm at night, so I'll keep that until I die. This is a new bedspread that I just got for Christmas. You can literally still see the lines on it from where it was folded, but I love it. It came with matching shams, so cute. This wall, I just have this whale tapestry that came from Amazon, I believe, and then I have these little shelves. This one used to be decked out a little bit nicer. It had the portrait of Nala on it, but this is where her ashes are. And then in the little box next to it is where I keep a bunch of her feathers that I would eventually like to put in resin. And I want to make some jewelry, and I also want to put some feathers in resin on her box of ashes as well. But I do want to decorate this whole little cube a little bit more because it's pretty bland right now. In this one, I have some photos and paw prints of my first dog, Zorro. Then these bracelets and the ones on the shelf have my roommate's horse's show name on them. That one's made with her actual horse hair. And we've known this horse since she was a baby. Like she is our baby. So I have a whole bunch of stuff in there for her in that shelf. And then this one has a moth trap, a little frog light, and then down in here just some little knickknacks I collected from the beach. This little piece of jewelry has hair from Zorro as well, so I always hang on to that. And then in this last corner, this is where my dresser used to be, next to the aviary. I have my degree. I have this little cozy chair that I used to really like to sit and read in, but I have a cord going across here now because the fountain that I got the birds for Christmas has a very short cable, and I haven't picked up an extension cord for it yet. So that's really annoying because I used to sit here and work on this puzzle that you see on the left side. I used to work on that all the time, and now I pretty much can't because this cord is there. But they really love their water fountain, so I don't want to get rid of it. And then last but not least, this is the setup that I did in my last video. This is the finished freshwater setup. I am going to be adding live plants. It's still cycling. It's still converting back to freshwater from salt. So I'm doing plenty of water changes to lower the salinity. And then once it is cycled and good to go, I will be adding some plants. And then I also found someone local who is breeding pea puffers. So I would like to do another pea puffer because I had one at the previous pet store that I worked at, and he was so sweet, so much fun. I really enjoyed that. Anyway, so that wraps this video up. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.